Hello, beautiful people. I am so glad you're here. Welcome to Your Spiritual Guru podcast. I'm your host and spiritual guru, Erin. I've been on my own spiritual journey for the past 2 years, and it's an honor to walk beside you as you navigate through your own. This podcast is for anyone who is wanting to do inner work, get more in tune with themselves, heal past traumas, and find their inner power. If that's you, then sit tight, because this is going to get deep. You ready? Hello, everyone. Welcome back, and thank you so much for being here with me today. If you are listening to this when the podcast episode comes out, it is Friday. And for me, today is Thursday, December 29th. I'm recording this the day before the podcast is supposed to drop because I have been very, very sick the past couple of days. I have had like a triple threat of just shit, literally and figuratively. I'm not gonna tell y'all everything because that might be TMI for some people, but if you want to, reach out to me and IG or Facebook or whatever and figure out what I was dealing with the past couple of days, then feel free. I'm an open book, but I just don't want to air everything out on the podcast because some people might be TMI for some people, but nevertheless, I am feeling somewhat better. I'm more so at like 85% myself right now. Hopefully by tomorrow I can be at 90 or at least 95, if not 100%, because I have to go back to work tomorrow. And with my job, I don't know if I've mentioned this on the podcast yet, but I'm an EMT, soon to be EMT firefighter. So I can't take care of people if I'm not good. So hopefully I will just continue to improve and get better as, the days go on. But today is a podcast topic that was brought to me once again by a fellow listener and friend, and she wanted to hear me talk about friendships. And when I asked her, okay, what about friendships do you want me to talk about? She was talking about how in your 30s, it's kind of difficult to make friends, find friends, maintain relationships, and things like that. And while I'm not 30 yet, I will be in a little over a month, actually. I can kind of relate to what she was talking about as far as just how friendships have changed over the course of your years and how they can change for you depending on what season of your life that you're in, right? It's so ironic because I won't say right when, but shortly after she mentioned that topic to me, I came across this Facebook post that kind of was basically saying the same thing that I was thinking of as far as the evolution and the changes that friendships go through. So for me, I don't really know that I have any type of advice as far as maintaining friendships or finding new friends or what have you, but what I can do is share my personal experience just like I always do, and hopefully that will resonate with some of you. Hopefully that will help someone out there just to feel less alone. So, oh man, friendships. I'm gonna start somewhere where I feel like we can all kind of relate and get on the same page. Okay, so when we think of a time in our life where we felt like we had a lot of friends, we were in a good place, we had like this group that we belonged to, this tribe. Most people, I won't say all, but most people will probably go towards the time in their life where they were either in middle school, high school, or college, right? Because you've developed, especially high school and college, I feel like. High school and college, you kind of develop this group of people that you see Monday through Friday. You know, you are in extracurricular activities with, you're in band, you're in sports, if you're like me, you were in swim. I was on the swim team. But mind you, you have this group of people that you see almost every single day. You're in contact with, you know, a lot of the time. And it's not very often that you don't have that sort of connection with these people, right? Your days pretty much all look the same because you're all going to school, you know, you're doing this thing together, and that's that, right? That's also probably the time where I feel like most people would feel like they had the most friends, right? The most amount of people in their tribe, right? Because, you know, it's a big school, you have a big crowd, you have a big tribe, whatever. So that's when I feel like most people would think that they had the most friends, they had the biggest tribe. At least that's how it was for me, especially in high school. For me, I was one of those people that got along with everybody. I wouldn't really call myself popular. Like, I didn't run with what I felt like was the popular crowd, but I knew people who were popular, but I also hung out with people who some people would deem not so popular. I would hang out with band, with chorus, with football, with cheer, like everybody. I knew everybody knew me, but that's just because I got along with everybody. But also, if y'all are new to the podcast and the show and my story, the religion that I was brought up in, I really couldn't, well, I won't say I couldn't, but it was frowned upon for me to associate with people who weren't in the religion. So for me, during that time in high school, which was the time where I had just gotten out of homeschooling, from the time that I got taken out in the middle of middle school to basically I got put into public school in high school. I think I started in the 9th grade, I want to say, or 10th, one of those. So I was just getting put back into public school, and I think that was a, you know, hindsight 2020, I think that was kind of a way for me to expand my tribe, was to be very versatile and adaptable, right? Like being able to morph and fit into all types of crowds, because I wanted to get to know people. I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to feel accepted. I wanted to have a lot of friends, right? So for me, definitely high school. College, I think was a little bit more difficult for me, because when I went to college, I left my hometown, right? So I knew absolutely nobody. I was in a new city. You know, college was a new thing for me, especially with me not being in the religion anymore. I was just like, holy crap, like I'm here by myself. I have no supervision. Nobody's telling me what I can and can't do. Like, it was crazy, right? So trying to find my footing, but then also at the same time trying to meet new people, make new friends, you know, what are you going to school for? Just trying to figure out where I fit in, right? And so college, I think, is where I found my friends that stuck, right? Now, that's not to say that I don't have friends from high school. I have a over decade long friendship from one of my best friends in high school. It's not what I'm saying, but I would say the majority of my friendships that I still have now, I developed when I was in college. And one of those is one of my very, very best friends. I'm actually going to have her on a podcast episode here shortly. But for me, that friendship, there are friendships that are for a season and for a reason. And then there are friendships that just stand the test of time, right? Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Like, you both move as individuals, but your stories are kind of intertwining. Like, you're meeting on the same plane. You are kind of in the same headspace. You have the same values. Your personalities click, and so you just kind of stick with each other even when things are out of control. So for me and my friend, her name is Joanne. We have been friends since college. Okay, that's where we met. And when I say that some friendships stand the test of time, me and Joanne have literally seen each other at our lowest point and at our highest point, right? And we're still best friends to this day. And we've both gone through different transitions and seasons in our lives, and we are able to give each other space and acknowledge when someone is growing, or when someone needs space, or when someone is on a different level than the other one, and vice versa. Like, for instance, when Joanne and I first met, I was single, probably. I was, like I said, in college, studying, really trying to find my footing. I was in a couple of extracurricular, like, college organizations. There was one for modeling. I was also interested in her sorority group at one time. Things like that, just to kind of paint the picture for y'all. I was also working. I was going to school and working at the same time. And she was kind of on the same level. That girl was a hustler. Like, she had all kinds of jobs, and, she was the Zumba instructor. That's how we met. And, but one thing that we would connect on is we would always go downtown together, and we would dance, and we would drink, and, like, party. That was the very, like, party girl, borderline toxic. Hadn't really gotten to toxic yet. We'll get there in a minute. But, like, that's kind of like the foundation of our friendship, like what we started on, right? And now I'm gonna explain to y'all how that kind of transpired and how we built a long-lasting friendship over it. Okay, so I want to preface this by saying, I think in order to find your tribe, you have to get really honest with the type of person you are, your values, what you want out of life, how you see the world, and just kind of the big picture, right? Because your vibe is what attracts your tribe. Just like we talked about, I think this was the solar plexus chakra, I want to say, like, your ego, navigating who you are as a person, that's going to attract your tribe. And if you are not being true to yourself, then you're going to attract people who are not going to be in balance with who you are in the place that you're at in your life, right? So I feel like that's one thing that me and Joanne really kind of had going for us, because we are both really, like, even back then, even before I had done all of the work that I've been doing now on myself, like, I feel like, for me personally, if I'm speaking for myself, I always felt like I kind of had a really good head on my shoulders. I kind of always knew who I was as a person and my values, even though some of those have changed throughout time. But even back then, like, I knew who I was, I knew what I wanted, and I was not a bullshitter. I was not fake. What you see is what you get. And that's where me and Joanne kind of, like, hit it off, right? And we kind of stayed cool throughout that. And so how that relationship was able to withstand all of our different growth seasons and everything like that is because we stayed true to ourselves. We never bullshit with each other. If I was fucking up, she would let me know. If she was fucking up, I would let her know. It wasn't a thing of, oh, well, I don't want to hurt her feelings, or, oh, what if she gets mad at me, or, oh, what if I say this and we're not friends anymore? Like, no, it was, I'm your friend, you're fucking up, you know better, you need to do better, right? So it was that holding each other accountable, giving each other space, and honoring and respecting where each other were in that time period. Like, there was a time where, like I said, I think it was her first. I think she was, or maybe it was happening simultaneously. Both of us were in shitty situations with our current relationship at the time. And I was telling her, like, you're better than this, you don't deserve this, I hate seeing you like this, you need to do better, like, this, and the third. And she was telling me the same thing, like, you need to do better, you deserve better than this, like, this is not, who you are, all of this. So it's like we were going back and forth, right? And there was literally a time where she had to say to me, if you are coming to me and talking to me about your significant other, I don't want to hear it. If you want to talk to me about how you're doing in life and your successes and, positive things that are happening with you, I would love to be here for you for that. But if it's going to be negative and about, the significant other that I've told you time and time again about, I don't want to hear it. And I had to do the same thing with her, and there were those times where we didn't talk, where, I was mad at her because she said something to me that was actually really true, but I just didn't want to hear it at the time. And so I was pissed and I didn't talk to her for a minute, but then, I ended up talking to her again. It was like, damn, you were right. Like, we went through those seasons together, but I think it's because we both knew that where we were coming from was never from a malicious state. It was all for love. It was all because we knew that the other person, and we knew, that what they were capable of and what they deserved, and we wanted the best for them, right? And so now both of our lives look completely different from, that toxic era. Now we're in, like, I became a mother first, and then she followed, and she's in a healthy, positive relationship. She's married. She's a mom. Like, she's doing amazing. And I'm a mom. I'm not married yet, but, like, I'm in a healthy relationship. I'm doing positive things in my career and things like that. And it's just like, we grew with each other, even though it happened at different times. Our stories, our lives kind of, were parallel with each other, but also integrated at certain points. But at the same time, when we had those changes, if mine happened first or hers happened first, we both had this understanding that, like, hey, we're busy. We're not going to be able to talk to each other every single day. Months might go by without a word, but if you need me, I'll be there, and vice versa. And that's how it went. There were times where, like I said, we would go months, weeks without talking to each other. And then the minute somebody texts somebody first, it's like we never left, And I think another point, which that reminds me of, that kind of helps you to have sustainable relationships and sustainable friendships, is you need to connect with people who understand where you're at with your journey and what to expect, and that they will be okay with that. For instance, I am not the consistent friend, okay? I have a full-time job. I am a single mother. I am busy, almost all of the time. I'm not going to be the one that's going to be available on the weekends to go downtown and party. Can't do it. Maybe if you give me 2 weeks in advance and I can find a babysitter, I might be able to swing it. But a spring in the moment, oh, let's go downtown, I'm not your girl. If you want to go on a brunch, maybe if you give me like a week in advance, I gotta make sure I'm off that day, right? So you gotta make sure that the people who are going to be in your tribe are not going to be someone who clashes with who you are as a person, because I'm the type of person, I'm not going to text you every single day. I'm sorry. I got stuff I'm trying to do, you know? But if you call me or text me and say, hey, Aaron, like, I really need help with, you know, X, Y, and Z, I got you. I'm that friend. Now, I'm not going to be the one texting you every single day, seeing what you're doing, having these long conversations. I'm not. But vice versa, you know, if you're my friend, I don't expect that from you. You know, I don't expect you to text me every single day. I don't expect you to, you know, have all these play dates and, you know, events planned, because I'm working, I'm busy, you know, and I expect you to have your life that you're busy lifing, right? So I say that to say, find people, even if you're not a full-time, you know, you work full-time, you're a mom, whatever, find people who get it, right? Like, for instance, okay, so there was a time, maybe like last month or 2 months ago, where I was just like, damn, I really don't have like a circle of friends here, you know, a big group of friends here that, like, you know, are moms that work, you know, I want a tribe, right? So I downloaded Bumble BFF, and I was trying to find, you know, girlfriends to just like hang out with, right? Because I was like, I need some mom friends, I just need some girlfriends, period. And so I matched with like 20 something people, and I was trying to maintain like all of these different conversations, and it was burning me the fuck out. Like, I just couldn't maintain it. But I found one friend, okay, that we still connect, that I still connect with her on, that we have literally been trying to go to the gym ever since we matched on Bumble BFF. I kid you not. We have not met each other in person yet. And I think we matched maybe a month and a half ago. But it's just, something always comes up. Either it's with her job or it's with my job. Especially with my job, because 9 times out of 10 we're trying to go to the gym the morning after I get off work, and I work 24-hour shifts. So if we ran calls all night, guess who's not going to the gym in the morning? Me. And so we might have planned to go to the gym, and then, you know, morning comes around and I'm like, girl, I only got 2 hours of sleep last night. Like, I can't. Can we reschedule? Or there have been times where, just last week, we made a plan to go to the gym on Friday, and I was like, oh crap, I completely forgot that daycare was closed on Friday. Like, I'm gonna have my daughter, I can't, you know. But I say that to say, she's understanding, because she works 2 jobs. She's also going to school while working 2 jobs. So she gets it. She's like, girl, life happens. Like, I get it. You know, I'm working and this and that, like, stuff happens. We're going to get it right eventually. That's what I'm talking about. Like, even though she's not on the same trajectory as I am, she's not a mom. She's not in the same line of work as I am. She doesn't have as many jobs as I do, whatever. She still understands that I can't always be there 24/7, right? I can't always commit to the plans that we made, or sometimes plans have to change last minute because life happens, right? But not everybody gets that, right? But then on the flip side of that, there are some people who can have that type of availability, who can plan all of these dates and do all of these things and be available on the weekends to part. What I'm saying is, find your people who are going to get whatever life, like, whatever story you're in, whatever stage of your life that you're in this moment, right? Whatever you want out of a friendship, make sure that you are connecting with people who are on that same level with you, right? So that's pretty much all I got as far as friendships go. Like I said, I'm not in my 30s yet. I will be in a little over a month. So excited, dirty 30. But I get it, y'all. Like, it's hard to, like, find new friends and maintain friendships when you get older, just because it was so much easier when we were younger, right? We didn't really have to try. Like we just went to school, we hung out with the same people 5 days a week. Like you didn't have to put any effort into it. And I think that's the thing. If we think about it, the years that we were in school and the years that we've been out of school, we've spent more years in school than we have out for most people, right? And so majority of our life has been structured around, oh, I have this big tribe. These are my people. I see the same people every single day. I really don't have to put any effort in maintaining friendships because these people are here 5 days a week. You know, I see them anyway, to where we now have to transition into the stage of life of like, shit, we're an adult now. Like, this is life, you know, and having to, one, navigate life, you know, whatever that looks like for each individual, but also it takes a tribe. Whatever you're doing, it takes a village, and navigating how to maintain and work for friendships, put in work to maintain friendships, because it is work, you know, and that takes two people, you know, on the same page. So that's what I would say. That's kind of been what has helped my friendships last as long. And also when I do have the opportunity to get those new friendships, like the girl that I was telling you that I met on Bumble BFF, we both had that same understanding that, hey, we're adults, life happens, we're gonna get it right eventually. You know, no love lost. Like we'll hit each other up when we hit each other up, and you know, go from there, right? But again, that's not for everybody. What I'm saying is, find your people, find your tribe, and your vibe attracts your tribe, and just get with people who are on the same level as you, right? You got to think about your values. You got to think about what you want out of the world. You got to think about your trajectory, you know, just who you are as a person. And once you get that, the people that are supposed to be in your life are going to gravitate towards you, and the people who aren't are going to fall off. It just is what it is. It's the law of the universe, right? Yeah. That's all I got for y'all this week. And if y'all have any advice, advice or suggestions of what you want to hear me talk about next, or questions that you have for me, please don't be afraid to slide in my DMs. You can message me at my personal Instagram, which is AIR_WREN, or you can message the podcast IG, which is Aaron_your spiritual guru. But yeah, that's all I got. Until we meet again, namaste.